Hi, this is Kara McNall, and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And today I'm going to show you how I created this card using Hanging Garden. And the Hanging Garden stamp set looks like this. It's got 3 different baskets here and a lot of different sentiments and a few butterflies too. So let's get started creating this card. And we are also going to be using it in a different color scheme today. So for our base, we're going to need a piece of Whisper White, and this is cut 5.5 by 8.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. We will need a piece of Old Olive, and this is cut 4 inches by 2. In the Petal Garden Designer Series paper, we're going to use the Sweet Sugar Plum coloring. And this piece is, it's 4 inches across and 1 3/4 down. So we'll just bring in our adhesive, and we're just going to add those 2 pieces together. And we're just going to center this top and bottom because the width is the same size. We just need 1/4 inch border on the top and the bottom. Alright, so our next piece is a piece of Sweet Sugar Plum cardstock, and this is cut 4 by 5 1/4, and I have already embossed this using the Petal Burst embossing folder. So what we'll do is we'll use the Tombow liquid glue for this. You could use your Fast Fuse, but I'm just going to use my Tombow. Hopefully, if it comes out of the bottle. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, maybe. Oh, let me just grab another bottle. All right, we'll try this bottle here. Sometimes they get a little stuck. All right, there we go. I don't edit my videos, so what you see is what you get. So that's what you get. All right, so we're just going to add this onto the card base. The reason why I like to use Tombow glue is because it does give you a chance to move your paper around. And also, I find the Tombow glue will adhere the embossed paper a lot better than your regular snail adhesive. All right, so we've got that set to the card base, and since I've got my Tombow out, and we are actually adding this onto the embossed paper, I'm going to use my Tombow glue again. And I'm just going to put this right in the middle here. Now on the example card I showed you, this piece here was a tad bit bigger here. I'll bring in the example, and I thought it was just a little bit overbearing, so I chose to go with a smaller size panel on the front, and we'll see what we get with that. All right, so we've got this all done here. So now we're going to bring in a piece of Whisper White scrap and our basic black ink, and you've got 3 different choices of baskets, hanging baskets. So I'm just going to do the same one I created using Eclipse of Coral. So I'm just going to stamp this down and bring it up. All right, so I got a little bit there on there, so we're just going to flip that over. And we're going to stamp again. And I won't press as hard at that top where that string is here, or the hanger. And a little bit harder down at the bottom. Hopefully I won't get that mark. Okay, that's a lot better. Okay, so we are done with this piece. And I'm going to let that dry a little bit because we're going to be using our Stampin' Write markers. And I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap Whisper White. It's about 1/2 inch, a little bit over 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to stamp this down. Hopefully I'll get it straight. Oh, that's a little crooked. All right, so let's just bring in another piece. And this cardstock is a little bent. Hopefully I'll get it straight that time. Oh man. Not having any luck here. Maybe my stamp, there we go, is a little bit crooked on the block. So, all right, so that one's all set. We're going to cut this one a little bit later with our snips, but we're going to color right now using our Stampin' Write markers. So I'll go over the colors that I chose. And of course we've got the fine tip and the brush tip here. And the colors here are Berry Burst. And this is a Sweet Sugar Plum. I've got Old Olive and this color, it's a retired color. It's Hello Honey, but any yellow will do if you want to add a little bit of yellow in there. I'm not really sure I'm going to do that. But right now what I'm going to do, I find easiest is try to work going top down to the bottom. And I'm just filling in the leaves here. And I know I'll miss some, so I'll have to go back. Once you get coloring in, it's a little bit easier to see where you've missed. So I'm just making little fine strokes. Now we'll get down to the ones here that are really fine. You can switch ends of your pen and use the fine tip. That way you'll stay in the lines. And let's just do a few over here. And I'm just going to switch over. You just have to make just a little flick, and it usually just colors in real well. Now you could use your watercolor pencils or your blends, whatever you have in your stash. Okay, so I think we've got most of them, and I know there's a few more here, so let me just fill in a little bit here. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to color in with the Berry Burst, and I'm just going to color in different areas, flowers, and I'm just doing little taps, and it's filling in. Alright, so now I'll bring in the Sweet Sugar Plum color, and I'll just color in, just tapping. The colors are very similar, so I might put in some of that yellow just to give it a little bit of something here. Yeah, that looks a lot better, adding just a little bit of yellow. Now, I'm definitely not staying in the lines, but it's okay. You're not really going to see the mistakes because it's pretty much all blended in. So you've got a few more leaves. It's easier to see the leaves once you start coloring in those flowers. All right, so I'm just going to add a little bit of pop of color in here. I know they could be leaves, but I think it just adds a little bit of interest. And the Sweet Sugar Plum. Alright, so now I'm just going to really fill it in with the greenery in here. Alright, so I think I've got all of the leaves. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a whole different color scheme. I'm going to bring in some blues, and this is Soft Sky and Pool Party to color in the basket. Just a little different. So the solid white, I'm just going to use this color here, which is the, what is this? This is the Pool Party. And now I'm going to just fill in with the Soft Sky, just to get a little bit of different character to the basket. Alright, so that looks pretty good. So let's clear up our area. And we need to bring in the Big Shot. So I've got a Big Shot coming into the picture with my card. And we're going to cut out this image here. So I've got my magnetic plate and my acrylic pads, and I've got my stitch framelit oval here, and I'm just going to make sure that that hanger is in the middle of that oval, and I want to make sure I gather all the leaves there. And I need another acrylic plate, And we'll just push it in there and just bring it through the big shot. Right. So we're done with the big shot. And we'll take out, here's our image. And that looks pretty good. But so what I want to do now is add the butterflies to give this, fill in this white area here. So actually we're going to bring in the basic black one more time and our butterflies. Now I'm going to have to stamp this because I don't have my labels on, so I want to make sure my butterflies are going the correct way. I don't want them really going upside down. So I'm just going to fill in one here and turn it and fill it in over there. So there are your butterflies, and we can just color those in with any color that you used here. So let's just give this one a little bit of the sweet sugar plum. This one you'll have to just be a little bit more careful and to stay in the lines, and the other one here. And let's fill in the other one with some yellow. Okay, so we have those all colored in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in my adhesive, and we're just going to add it to the back here. And I've got a piece of old olive cardstock, and that was cut out with the layering ovals. Pressed from the back side. I always do that just so I don't transfer ink onto my image. And now I'm going to just bring in, really you only need about just 4 dimensionals here to the back side. And just press them down firmly in the middle to release the backing. Alright, so we'll bring in our card. And now I'm just going to put this over to the right here, making sure it's straight. And I love how that actually, the blues really look nice with this color scheme. So I'm just going to press down where the dimensionals are. Now I'm going to bring in our sentiment, sending lots of love, in my snips. And I'm just going to snip this off here. And I'm going to give it about the same border on the right side. And now I'm just going to use my Tombow glue just to add it onto the back side, because we're going to be adhering this onto that embossed cardstock. And being really careful not to get all this glue on my fingers. And I'm just going to layer this right down at the lower left corner, just giving a little bit of border on the bottom so you can see the sweet sugar plum coming through. So there you have it. There's our card for today with the sweet sugar plum color theme, and then this one bringing in is the Calypso Coral color theme. So I hope you enjoyed today's card, and for all your Stampin' needs, please visit my website at inspiredbygram.com. Thanks for watching.